Okay, we are switched on. Hello. This is my Battlefield 4 voice. Actually, it's my Battlefield 3 voice. Hello, you guys. Stop laying there. Move up and take the flag with us. Yeah, right. Anyway, so what have we got today in a more extended and fun-filled video for you guys? I'm doing Jimmy Savile again, alright, sorry. Okay, we've got one from Brendan. You see your whole rough out's done there, bud. I've got to do my through bolts to hold the rip clip in place. At the moment it's just a press fit. You'll notice also it's on the left hand side of the gun. If you're left handed, got to have a left handed gun. Otherwise, if you had a right handed version, you'd end up with the hopper covering your right eye, and you won't know your range for your target. You won't be able to range find, man. All your shots will fall short or go too long. Yeah, it's true, you know. So I've got everything together. This has been a journey of fond memory, because I had a lot of special tools that I used to make these, mainly milling parts and stuff, and every time I come to get a tool, it's gone, man. It went up in flames in the workshop. So I've probably spent over £200 in tooling, but I can't charge more than 200 quid for this, bud, because one, you supplied all the parts, and two, you know, I recently sold one second hand for around that price, you know, and it just wouldn't be fair to charge you any more, man. And, you know, I'm an upfront and honest chap, that's me. But now I've got all the tooling, I can make myself one. So that's nearly all done. That's 90% there. Another week or something. I'm trying to fit this in around doing everything else. And then what I've also done, I did, for those that follow the channel and stuff, and my eBay shop, I did some little carbon fibre silencers, and I sold every single one, man. People really love them. And I've had people ringing back up, ringing, because I send a card with each one, obviously, asking if I'm going to make some more. Can I make some longer? Now, obviously, those that follow the YouTube channel, or this channel, obviously, because this is going to be on YouTube. Gotcha! Will know that I did do a few long ones. I did a rimfire one, and then I did a 10-inch one for a BSA R10, which sort of enveloped the barrel and had a rear wood thrusty port to put air behind the barrel as well as front into the chambers, right? Worked quite well. Guy rang me up, he absolutely loves it. So I've got to be doing something right, okay? So I'm doing these standard silencers, as you can see, with my magic hands. It's not a Jimmy Savile cigar. Now then. So that's the longest one. That's 154mm. And then they go down. There's 153. But what I want to show you, and what I'm going to carry on from doing that BSA R10, so you can just see that little hole. See that tiny little hole? That's just a very small rear port. What it does is, if your pellet's travelling slower than the gas behind it, namely, definitely with CO2, what I've found is the CO2 can upset the flight of your pellet. I've shot tested the shit out of these things. I've done about 1,000 shots, and out of those 1,000 shots, I came to a conclusion that CO2 does have a habit of knocking your pellet off, because it's so thick and it's travelling at maybe a little bit faster than the actual pellet is, you know. So this little port here rents all the CO2 backwards. Not that you'll ever notice it. My first chamber is, you know, yay big to give loads of expansion to capture that gas, but I don't want that too much of that gas, or the accelerating mass of that gas, to catch up with the pellet when it hits the first air stripper, because of course the first air stripper is the smallest one, right? And there I think there was, I don't know, turbulence maybe would be the best way to describe it. So I've added these ports, they do help, and what I've done is I've shot tested each single one of these
And as I've been testing them, as I have been shooting them and testing them, I've also been reaming out the air strippers, and it gets to the point now where each one of these is pellet on pellet. And as you can see, I have a whole mass of sizes, and my little baby one. It's just shy of 80mm long, but there's 10 chambers in there. And, you know, obviously it's not going to make your rifle silent, but it does remove all the crack and all the whack. All the crack and all the whack. God, man, I'm in Harlem, baby. Yeah! So, I start at 80mm or 78mm and I run right up to 154. Pricing for these, the long ones are 35 quid, because obviously there's a lot more material in them. The smaller ones, let's say mid-size ones, 128, 132, 138, 30 quid. And then the little ones that go from 78mm to 112, maybe, let's think, 25 quid I'm thinking. So nothing outrageous. I've been my local air gun shop, I've checked out all the prices on silencers. Average silencer price about 45 quid. And as I explained to a gentleman who bought one off me for his funny enough, same guy with the R10, that the silencers you buy today they're not English, they're made in Spain or Taiwan or China, and they're not a multi-baffled system. All they are is a hole at both ends with some Scotch-Brite pads, you know, in the middle. Like, he explained he didn't believe me, so he took his silencer apart and he said, "Here, there's a hair curler in my silencer." I said, "Yeah, I told you so." More people asking about the steel. Yeah, baby, this is starting to get really popular. I have some more I've done at the moment. These are little skinners, and one of these went up to my chap up in the Highlands, Jamesy. Hey, James. James, as I've told you before, he's a gameskeeper in Scotland, and he's English. He must get some grief. But if he's buying my stuff, right, do I need to say any more? Here's one that I've done it's slightly polished, just here and here. It's like a reverse Hamon, I suppose, for those of you that know your steel, or your Japanese steel maybe. And these other ones you've seen before. This is my, it's like my English bowman's knife, if you like. You can just make out the Damascus pattern on these. And then I do a subdued one. This has a standard back blade on it, so sharpened from both sides. These ones, of course, are only sharpened on one side, because what you do, you use these again, you stick that in a tree, get your arrow, and then you pull it over that, and it straightens your arrow out, or removes any nooks, crannies, splinters, that sort of thing. It's a bit old fashioned, I'm sure nobody uses it anymore, but apparently fantastic for skinning. And then, remember the one I was making for myself? Whoa, yeah baby, the big notch. This is for making round pegs, because what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to add a system so I can put a wood awl into it, so I can drill round holes in pieces of wood. Then I can whittle out round pegs and join two said pieces of wood together. Not probably that I'll ever have use for it, but we're talking survival knives. Joining bits of wood together is quite important, isn't it? You're not exactly going to have, you know, nails and screws and stuff. And if we look back in history, all wood used to be joined together with wooden pegs. So that's what we've got going on for today. What else can we show you? Oh, there's got to be something silly I can show you. I've got a really good story about some pills I found in my we have a communal waste disposal area, and I found some special pills in there that make you very large. Another story for another time. I'll see you later, buds.